I'm gonna give it to Mary with love. I've got something that...
I regret reading the book, really. It's a terrible book. Like, this much of the book is like, yeah, okay. Like, everything interesting happens right here. And then, like, this part of the book is, like, shit. So, it starts, like, in the 80s, real early, you know, when I guess pedophiles weren't invented yet. There's pedophile guy, I can't remember his name, I think it's, like, Mr. Harvey. Like, in the movie, they totally gave him, like, the glasses and the mustache, just so you know.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Just so you know, exactly. There's the main character chick that dies right away. Oh, spoiler alert. And then there's her sister. And then there's her two parents, which are like, parents. They come along later on. The chick, like, is standard person, like, kind of popular, but not like, I'm popular, but, like, people don't hate me kind of popular. Boring stuff until you have the chick walking home. She's approached alone in a cornfield by a man with mustache and glasses. Like, she kind of recognizes him from the neighborhood, so it's not like, oh, stranger danger, but it's still like you're being approached alone in a cornfield. I'm sure it's something around the line of, hey, want to look at this hole in the ground I dug? And she's like, neato! And there's this trap door in the ground. Yeah, she goes in a hole in the ground. She gets raped. Describes it in the book. I can't remember in the movie. I'm pretty sure it's graphic, like, grab, like, action scene, but it's not, like, rape. In the book, like, it's, like, nice, like, 10 pages of her in that room. Like, Jesus. You get to experience all of this. Like, just the most emotional, like, wrecking, like, peel your face off because you're so sad. This might be a little out of order because I don't feel like building up to it. Gets raped, he kills her, cuts her up into pieces, puts her in a safe, dumps her in, like, the land, like, a sinkhole. Nature's trash can. That's pretty much is how the town treats it, which I'm sure is terrible. No one questions him. No one's like, sir, what's in that safe? That's really heavy and obviously full of something. Well, the family looks for her for a really long time, and the neighborhood dog just comes, like, I guess, trotting home with her elbow, the weirdest part of the body to find. You could expect, like, a hand or, like, an arm. Not this area right here. This makes no sense. Who keeps this? If he's chopping her into bits, wouldn't it be like bam, and then it'd be like both in the back? But no, he lost her elbow somehow. Yep. You know, serial killers have patterns. They kill people that look like this, people that are this age, people that are this sex. But no, he's like equal opportunity serial killer. They're all female, and that's the only resemblance to like 40-year-old women, grandmas, like 3-year-olds, teenagers, like anyone. He's got reasons, but he's a little crazy. And so the dog comes trotting back with her elbow, and the family's like, she's dead. Pretty quick, her dad gets like mustache glasses. This guy's suspicious. The police check him out, and he's like,
right in the noggin.
Normal, except for the fact that I build doll houses for a living. The dad's just like freaking out. He just goes about it in the most back-ass-word, crazy way. I don't know, I think he has like a heart attack. He's in the hospital, and this is when I realized that the wife is a terrible person. So she's like, my daughter's dead, I'm filled with grief, guess I should just bone the policeman that's working on the case. Wow. She literally fucked the police. In the movie, they completely got rid of how horrible the mom was. Dad's like going batshit insane, and there's no more love in the marriage because their daughter died. Guess they forgot they had another one. Wow. And I think they have a little boy too, but who cares about him? Like, no one cares about him. And the sister's also getting suspicious. I don't know why that makes so much sense in my mind, but builds dollhouses, pedophile, just bam. He's walking around, you know, they got pretty open backyards, you know, it's like fence. This guy is like in his backyard building some tent thing, like something suspicious. Conversation goes on, he's like, oh, it's like a Native American bridal honeymoon hut. So dad figures out he has a heart attack or something. He ends up in the hospital. Mom's a terrible person. Then the sister also gets suspicious because the dad is like, dude, like this. Her little sister is like the straightest lesbian you'll find ever. Plays soccer and like sprints ahead of the boys. Is like, I'm so good at sports. And she like noticed Harvey doing like some nefarious deeds up in there. And by now we've hit like a quarter of the like the sisters like at one point it leads to the sister just like they're doing the running in soccer and she's like cramp and she sneaks into this guy's house, right? She looks into this like dark hole in the wall. She doesn't know, but there's like thousands of like, well not thousands, but there's just animal corpses. I guess that was how he repressed it. It was like, you know, instead of killing children, stab a cat, stab a cat, stab a cat. Like he had those probably like dissolving in lye or something, like hidden in his basement where no one could smell it. This weird possession thing happens, you know, and the chick from heaven's like, I got this. Go up the stairs, but the sister's like really hesitant about everything. Like so much. Deciding to go up the stairs. So when she finally does, it's like non-consequential room, you know? And then his bedroom, which is like, oh, all the good shit's happening up there. So she's looking around in there, and she lifts up a floorboard, and there's this like journal and like drawing. There was literally a diagram for the rape cave. And then rapey guy comes home. She's up there and she hears him coming. She's trying to slowly, and then and apparently this man has the hearing of an eagle. What's in my bedroom? Basement, first floor, second floor, creak. Hears that, and he starts rushing upstairs, and she like does like bad parkour, jump out the window, roll on the grass, run as fast as I can. Finally, the police get onto him. Older sister, when she was still in school, she was kind of having a flashback. And they had this science project that was like, what's the best way to commit a murder? So she says icicle, you know, hint, hint, foreshadowing, hint. So this Harvey guy moves away, jumps to the sister, and the sister gets a boyfriend, and they're like, young love. Older sister from heaven is like, yay, I'm living, like, through you. A boner under a canoe happens. Life goes on. The wife is terrible. She eventually comes back to the husband. You know, they kind of get together for a family reunion. And in the end, like all the victims come to the girl in heaven, and like she kind of finds peace and like goes away and like stops harassing her family. The book end pissed me off so much, and the regular end too. I wanted this man to be tracked down, put through the judicial system, put in prison, and I want him to be violently ass-raped for my viewing pleasure. Like, yeah!
Of course for your viewing pleasure.
But no, instead it ends with him at an icy truck stop, and there's this chick that was kind of younger, you know, smoking a cig, because she's cool. You're about to be pissed. She's sitting out there, and he approaches like, I'm so fucking creepy. Like, and then he says something like, where are you heading? Do you need a ride? And she's like, fuck off, old man. Like, he's sitting there, you know, and then he's like at like kind of an edge, like cars parked, icy edge, and he slips and he falls and he rolls down a hill, but he's still alive. So you're like, maybe he's gonna be found bleeding to death in the ditch, and then he'll be raped in prison. Yay! No. An icicle perfectly falls and hits him in the brain and he dies. And it's terrible, and I hate that movie and that book because there's no justice to that.